So tonight, we're going to have a really exciting call. Representing our CEO with the Heart of Gold is our very own Lifestyle Director 1, Istak Salsky from Belgium. Let me introduce you to this wonderful gentleman. He joined Opulence just 1 year ago. Can you imagine? And he has achieved such remarkable success in that very short space of time. He's earned the MGRS bonus an impressive 9 times. Wow, 9 times out of 12. What an act to follow. He did all this while he was building a network of 17 direct partners and cultivating approximately 70 personal customers across 8 different countries and counting. Istak's dedication extends beyond his achievements. He generously imparts his knowledge through weekly training sessions and presentations, enriching the Opulence community in Israel on a diverse range of topics, and of course, enriching us here tonight, also last Saturday. Beyond his MLM journey, Istak is a multifaceted individual, a renowned concert pianist, a skilled chess player, and a master of backgammon. I would love for us to meet. I love to play backgammon. He also heads his own translation business, and he has fluency in 5 languages and has resided in 6 countries. So he's now calling Belgium home with his family. So everyone, please, let's take a moment to welcome this wonderful gentleman. Istak, it's great to have you. Over to you. You're muted, my dear. Unmute yourself.
Very good, very good. Thank you very much for the wonderful introduction.
Technology happened to me last night, so it happens. Go ahead.
Well, yes, of course, part of the deal, especially at 3 in the morning.
Correct.
Thank you for a wonderful job of hosting, very enthusiastic, very engaged, very involved. I can totally see you qualifying after this period. Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
And hopefully you join us in presenting and in training after that. That was really nice to have you present and start the act. And okay, today we're going to continue something that we started last week. Last week we were here with my own mentor, the amazing LD3, Ronen Trifon, and together we presented the beginning of this presentation that I'm going to show you now. Host, please help me share my screen. You need to enable it.
Sure, no problem.
Share.
Will do, yes.
Yes, very good.
Do that right now.
All right, let's try again. Not yet, not quite yet.
You should be able to do so now.
Oh, now it's okay. Now it's going to work. Okay, yeah. So we were starting this presentation last week with the LD3 Ronen Trifon, my mentor. We went through the first 9 slides in great detail. Everybody can see the recording, of course, in the Forensic Network channel. This presentation was created by our CEO, and he was delivering a large part of it at the Freedom Conference in 15-16 September at the Hilton Hotel at Toronto, which I attended, and I took many notes. After the conference, it was still edited and revised by our CEO, released it to us really a short while ago. And this is the first opportunity for most of us to get acquainted with how our CEO sees the first level of the Forensic Networker training, known as the Perfect Launch. Excellent for new partners, excellent for partners who want to get more active or who want to make sure that they're doing everything correctly or who want to teach their team how to do it the right way. I'm going to very quickly go over the first few slides that we covered last week, just really briefly to give some kind of a summary. Obviously, this method was developed by a person who already proved himself as a very top distributor in 4 different MLM businesses, where he created multi-million-dollar networks, quite an amazing feat in a very difficult and demanding industry. And in order to teach himself and to motivate himself how to do that, he created our Forensic Networker system. Notice the year, it was in 1999, 6 years before we had Global Wealth Trade that later changed into Opulence Global. Obviously, very wide recognition as a top professional in M&M, in designing compensation plan, in training, in creating training systems, very wide recognitions, American Business Journal. Here we see another one, Networking Times, very great recognition, no less than the CEO of Networking Times. And of course, Ramin Mesgarlo, our CEO, is an amazing person in what he created for us. But as a coach, as a trainer, he's quite tough. He makes us look at the mirror. He makes us realize where we are coming short and pushes us in the right direction, motivates us to do better, and also shows us the way. What did we do last week? Last week, we were speaking about this beautiful tower here that Ramin in the conference reminded us that with all of its height, more than half of its weight, 7,000 out of 13,000 tons, are buried in the ground, forming a foundation. So we should be focused on building our foundation. Too many people worry too much about how much they are earning at an early stage. In MLM, earnings don't come early, but the foundation, the correct habits, the knowledge of how to work, the human skills, the persistence, the consistency, these are things that we build. And once we build it, in the beginning, not much is seen income-wise, but when it rains, it pours. Once the growth begins, once your team catches on, you can very quickly get great increases of your paychecks. And once we get that, we really know that the foundation is very well built. We talked about it in some detail last week here with Ronen. And we were also speaking about what is known as the MLM blame campaign. People blaming MLM, even though there is nothing wrong with MLM. Also in other industries, most people don't succeed, and people who succeed are doing something different. But we heard Ramin say that in the conference, maybe in MLM, people blame the vehicle because in other industries, people don't know their peers. If you are in Forex trading and you are not doing well, you blame yourself because you don't know the other trainers, the other traders. In MLM, we are all in one network, and it's very easy to create an atmosphere of, oh, yeah, it doesn't work. Oh, yeah, we earn very little. This kind of a group sympathy thing that everybody is sympathetic for the other person's failure. And you create some kind of a group agreement that it doesn't work exactly because everybody knows everybody. We are a big social group. We are a big community. So it's very easy to create these negative trends. Of course, they don't lead very far. And what does lead us very far is really to listen to the leaders, to listen especially to proven leaders who have made it, like our LD3s, our LD4s, our corporate people who are very carefully selected for having successfully managed their own MLM businesses. Once we follow these people and do what they did right, or following the forensic networking method, we can be very independent of a certain group agreement. Most people don't make it because they never learn how to work, or because they are not consistent, or because they are doing a million other things. But if we follow those who make it and we learn their methods, and there is no better method that I know of than the forensic networker, there is nothing to blame. We can just succeed and do great for ourselves and for many people around us. This was covered last week. We remember that the legislation regarding MLM is very well placed there. There is this Federal Trade Commission, FTC, in the United States that made very clear rules for legitimate MLM businesses so that we don't have those people who come with money and expect to put money and make a lot of money, but people who want to develop the human relationship, promote products, promote a certain culture. So promoting users, promoting promoters, and deterring those people who come just with money and search to do more and more money, to make more and more money. If somebody comes to you and say, listen, we have this new MLM venture, why don't you invest in it and you can make a fortune? That's generally a scam. That's not going to last very long. But if there is a solid company with products who doesn't promise you the sky or the stars immediately, but speaking about building, about a foundation, about a certain span of time, that is something worth looking into, especially if the compensation plan is good and free of loopholes, if the products are great. All this was covered last week. And we ended last week with a comparison between the MLM field and other fields of business, like the brick and mortar stores or traditional businesses. We went over all of that. And today we take off from the point that we left. This week, I'm on my own here. Ronen is not here. So let's see how far we can go in this presentation while also doing justice to the spirit of the forensic networker. That's quite a big challenge that I'm stepping into, only 1 year into the company. But I have Ramin, what I remember from the conference, and this slideshow to assist me. So let's see how much terrain we can cover and how much value we can give in this hour. Let's get started in today's program. First of all, we want to understand why it is that MLM gives so much opportunities for so many people. We know many, many success stories of people who made it in many different MLM companies, and there are more millionaires probably in this industry than in any other industry. And what is the reason for that? And Ramin was telling a story of a car that he bought back in '95. We see here the photo, and the car was priced at $132,000, but its actual cost back at the manufacturer was $76,000. And all of the thousand between these two amounts went into no fewer than 17 middlemen, transporters, shippers, retailers, wholesalers, people who were cutting some kind of a profit in the middle. And generally, these are not just, single people, individual people. These are kind of organizations who are middlemen organizations. And what we are doing, we're basically replacing all of these middlemen. We take some products from a manufacturer and bring it directly to an end user. So instead of those few people who stand in the middle, there is a compensation plan that anybody can enter. You invest a very minimal sum, maybe 1,300 Canadian dollars or 1,950, something like that, and you enter an opportunity to take over this entire package of distribution. Everything that happens between a manufacturer and an end consumer, the promotion, the public relation, the personal contact, the client service, we enter there. And yes, of course, the millions are there to be earned. Let's jump a few slides ahead and look at this here. We see here a very big company that is well known, Amazon. What does Amazon manufacture? Amazon doesn't manufacture anything. It is simply a middleman. It is simply a distributor. What does Walmart manufacture? The greatest supermarket chain in the US. They don't manufacture anything. They just stand as a middle point. FedEx, okay? Alibaba, this Chinese e-commerce giant. All of these companies are giants. They are multi-billion-dollar companies, and all they do is distribution. So the wealth is created in distribution. This is why in MLM we have so many millionaires, because yes, there is a lot of money in distribution. We have MLM companies that generally create good products. Of course, our products are head and shoulders above the rest, but in general, we can say that MLM companies invest a lot in products. And of course, the MLMers themselves, the distributors themselves, they're taking the place of FedEx, they're taking the place of Walmart, of Amazon. Of course, there is a lot of money in that for those who are going to learn how to do it and who are going to invest the time and the effort in actually making that happen. Just a minute here. Yeah, we go back to the previous slide. Now, let's go to the next one. Here. So basically, MLM is the last bastion of free enterprise. This is the last chance of ordinary persons to be able to hit a financial home run. Anybody can enter without previous knowledge. I didn't come into MLM as a salesperson. I came, you heard my presentation earlier, I came as a pianist, as a translator, not as a salesman. I came without much knowledge. I learned a lot inside this company from the videos, from the forensic networker, from my mentor, from other people in my MI5 who gave me advice, who answered my question, who came up with me to one-on-one role-playing drills. You come, you learn, even as an average person without big expertise, but you can make it big, of course. So then it says here, if you don't do well in MLM, don't blame the vehicle. You can have the best vehicle in the world. If it's sitting in the parking spot, in the garage, it's not going to go very far. We are the driver. It is up to us to learn how to drive and to actually drive the vehicle. For the average person, MLM is your absolute best option, of course. And yes, especially in a company like Opulence Global, with our incredible compensation plan, we can be a very ordinary person and achieve extraordinary results. We have the example of LD4 and Eliyahu, who had his record month with well over $100,000 in a month, with a network of 7,000 partners, which is unheard of in MLM. In most companies, in order to reach a monthly paycheck of $100,000, you need between 100,000 and 200,000 partners. So doing this with 7,000 partners is only possible because our compensation plan pays for infinity to infinity generations, pays, we have a binary network, but we pay on both legs, not just on the weak leg. The percentages are higher. We never derank. We never lose any of our partners because they outrank us. All of these loopholes in the compensation plan, René speaks about it, Ramin speaks about it, they are absent from our company. So if you work well, you can make huge money. It's amazing. And Ramin was standing on stage and he said, look, anybody who works well can build a network of 7,000 people and get this kind of a paycheck. Of course, our company is just starting into global expansion now with the Fountain of Life and the SafeHome Revolution and the new products that are coming out and everything that we have against, the designs of the World Economic Forum. The opportunity is there for everyone. Now, if you had to do it in another company, not every person can build a network of 200,000 people. That's really quite a feat. But here, really, any person can do it if he's just going to learn the method and apply it. And of course, we do have the Ultimate Personal Development University available in business. We can all learn communication skills, coaching skills, one-on-one skills, problem-solving skills, conflict resolution, leadership. As we grow and as our network grows, we need to grow more and learn more skills. Let's go to the next slide. One more thing I needed to say about ordinary people. And one of the first things that I heard our CEO say 2 weeks ago in the conference was a very important key datum that I will share with you today. It's not on the slideshow, but it's really important. How we need to learn to separate, because we're speaking about consistency, doing it more and more over and over. And this is a very important tip. We need to learn to separate work from emotions. Very, very important, because we are running our own business. If we had a job and we had to go someplace at 9 o'clock in the morning, it doesn't matter how we feel. We cannot be absent too many days without being fired or suffering grave consequences or being reprimanded. It doesn't matter how we feel, we still go to work. Somehow, when we are doing this for ourselves and we have our own shop, there is a tendency of saying, fine, you know what, it doesn't matter. Today I'm not going to work. I'm going to do it on another day. Okay, this month I don't feel like working very much. I've been too busy on the last month. Maybe I will take some time off. Maybe I will do something else. The box is going to wait. The box is very silent. Once we learn to separate our work from our emotions and we learn consistency, we learn that once we decide on a schedule, we better be there on those days, on those hours, and do the designated tasks that we assigned to ourselves on the previous day. Ideally, we should have a name list. We should decide who we are going to call on the following day or the following week. We should have a strategic plan, a follow-up plan for customers, for candidates, for partners. And the more we adhere to our own plans and to our own schedules, then we will do better, of course. But it does take having a mindset that is work-oriented and not emotion-oriented. And there is this other example for instance, if I know that I need to be calling 10 new people today, and I made one phone call that didn't go so well, I can be quite discouraged by that phone call. But then if I remember that I still have 8 or 9 more calls to go through, I will go through the calls. That's what I need to do. Separate work from emotions. A big part of the forensic networker methodology. And let's go to the next one. MLM is the perfect business concept, yet it is not perfect. And why? Who is to blame? Is it the companies or is it the promoters? It is both. 50% of the blame lies with the companies. The companies must get better, become more creative. Mind you, this was written in 1999, and we did see Ramin actually implement this in his own company, which is definitely head and shoulders better in every possible way, in culture, in compensation plan. There was a lot of study of other companies' compensation plan and products. We are more creative. We have raw materials like no other company has. We are a fashion company in addition to health and personal care, unlike any other company. So yes, good news, the companies are getting better. Definitely, there is no question. Thank you, CEO, and evolving. And 50% of the blame is us. I'm somebody who doesn't really believe a lot in blame or in, blaming ourselves, because this starts a vicious circle. And finally, it's not productive. When we don't feel good about ourselves, we don't do much. But we can simply look at the mirror and say, okay, where am I coming short? What am I missing? What am I not doing? What am I not implementing? If I'm not sure about that, I better ask my upline, I better ask my ultimate My5 and find a way to get me closer to what I need to be doing. So we must evolve. We must master the training, learn the methods, learn the methodologies, really learn to do those things that we are weak at. Some people are weak in public speaking. Some people are weak in just picking up the phone. Some people are actually bad in listening. We can be very good in talking, but when the other person talks, either we don't have a patience and we don't listen to them, Or maybe they speak and we don't process what they say, or maybe we don't take notes, or maybe we don't pinpoint on the most important thing they said. Maybe we are weak in finding a need. There can be, maybe we're technologically weak. We are not good in in preparing graphical content, or in leaving a video content, or in any other thing. MLM apparently pushes us to all of the corners where we are uncomfortable. And of course, we should be doing more of what we are good at already, but we need to master many new skills and we must evolve. This is what he says. The promoters must evolve, master the training, become qualified leader and trainers. Notice that this company has a qualification training for many things. You qualify for MGRS, you qualify for trainer, you qualify by learning the forensic methodology well enough, not only to do it, but also to teach it, to create a network of people who know what to do. So yes, qualification is key, learning is key, and this is important. Pay attention to this one. A professional networker, and yes, we are evolving every day in order to become more and more professional. Once we are really professional, we will succeed in any company. It doesn't matter where we go. Of course, part of being professional is also recognizing which company we should not enter or should not work at, either because the products are not so good or we are not very fairly compensated. But once we select a company as pros, we are going to succeed there, provided the right timing. And on the other hand, many of us know enough sometimers, people who are not dedicated enough, and give this person the best opportunity, they're going to fail. So to be, it's up to me, keep evolving, become a pro. If you have the will, MLM has the way. It doesn't matter if we are not completely a pro today, we can become more professional tomorrow by learning and finding out together where we need to improve and what we are already doing well, but we should be doing more and more and more. The next slide is about leadership. Leadership is the GPS of an organization. Where is an organization going? It goes where the leader can push it. You know, I can have a team of partners, but if those partners don't know what they are doing and they're not doing very well, probably I'm not leading them very well. I need to learn something about leadership. The best leadership, of course, is leadership by example. We're going to see this in a couple more slides, but let's just advance slide by slide with the notes. Weak leadership creates team confusion, and this creates weak organization, of course, when we don't have a clear idea how to manage our personnel. And it is true, each one of them is there because they are independent. They don't have to listen to us, but we should be providing some kind of a direction, some kind of a guidance, even if it's a gentle guidance. Wow, Amin is here. Hi, Ramin, great to see you here.
Good evening to you, boss CEO.
Wow.
He
All
just,
right.
please feel free to proceed until he wants to comment. Thank you.
Definitely. I will proceed. So yes, when we don't know how to guide our people, they're not going to do very much necessarily, unless somebody has a great initiative. But this is what happens. If we don't lead very well, the team is going to be confused. And when the team is confused, they get inactive. If they don't know what to do, normally they're not going to do much of our business. They will do some other things and we gradually begin to lose them. So we need to develop stronger leaders and trainers. Now, there was an interesting argument between the forensic networker and Mark Yarnell. Mark Yarnell was a very well-known trainer in MLM. And the question was, are leaders found or are they created? Mark Yarnell says, okay, you need to find leaders. How do you find leaders? Okay, you talk with many people, you recruit many people, and if you're lucky, you get a leader 1 in 10 or 1 in 30 or 1 in 100. You can get a leader here and there. Okay, this is a very, very frustrating process of really digging in a pile of hay until you pick up the jewels. However, the forensic networker has a different view, and it is also provable. Basically, everybody has a leader in them. Everybody is a leader in some part of their lives. You can be a leader at your home, or at your other job, or at the other company that you manage, or at a social club, or at a circle of friends. You can be a leader someplace. The question is, can you transfer that capability? That leadership that you have, can you copy it to MLM? Of course, you need to know what you are doing, but once you do know what you are doing and you do it, you should be able to transfer the leadership quality and help other people in your team do it as well. Now, there is a problem with leadership that normally we tend to listen to people who have already made it in MLM. The problem with that is that most people who made it in MLM, at least this was correct at 99, maybe it improved since then, but back then, most people who made it in MLM didn't really learn the capacity of teaching it or of transferring it. And why? If we take the 1% top income earners, those who are really making the big money, 1/3 of them were simply lucky. Somehow they got there, they recruited the right people, people started building below them, and suddenly they have a network, and they get beautiful paychecks. Anybody who's been enough time in MLM must know people like that. They don't know how they got there. They cannot for the life of them do it again. And of course, they cannot help others to succeed. They cannot really give valuable advice. You cannot say to somebody, hey, just be lucky. And then you have people who are really the grinders. 1/3 of the people are the grinders. These people were working really over hard, and they would, they would make phone calls 16 hours a day, and they would ask their mother-in-law to make phone calls and the neighbor to make phone calls. Everybody was making phone calls obsessively. And of course, by the sheer volume and quantity of their work, they did got some people under them who could actually learn a system and apply it, and somehow they reached success. But it was so tiring and so exhausting that this is not something that they would do again. And obviously, it's not duplicatable. Nobody would be willing to go through what they went through. The problem is that these 2/3 of people who reach success, but it's not duplicatable, they do give advice. So they mislead people, and people get the wrong ideas, and they get systems that are unworkable. And finally, they leave, they fail, they blame the industry, they don't know what they're doing. However, there is this 1/3 who did know what they're doing, either because they learned it or because they developed it. And these people are qualified. They can do it anytime. They did it once, they created a beautiful business. In our business, for example, they reached the LD3, the LD4, put them in any other company with a good product. They could do it again. They know what they were doing. They can give advice. They can give, even a chart of progress step by step. They can take you by the hand and tell you, okay, now do this, now do that. Okay, but this is 1/3 of the top percent. In 99, 66% of the top MLM earners were unqualified, and their success was not duplicatable. Of course, today we are in better shape because we have better training in MLM, and more people are actually learning to do it the right way. This slide we already covered, so let's go to the next one. What does it take to be a student of the MLM Forensic Networker method? What do we need to be for ourselves? First of all, we need to understand that this method is designed for people who want to take the business seriously. Either they are part-time serious, which means that they put at least 25 hours in the business and they attend the company trainings and they follow the methodology, or they're actually full-time networkers. You can do this part-time along with your other job or with your other business. But if you are serious, then it makes sense that you are going to study this methodology. If you're not very serious, or if you are a sometime-er, okay, this is not going to help you very much. Maybe you will be smarter theoretically, but if you don't dedicate yourself, if you don't put yourself in this business, it's not going to work very well. Now, this system, of course, comes with an MO box, a method of operation box, and it has a very scientific daily method of operation and weekly method of operation. You know what you're supposed to do if you want to get consistent results. Every day, every week, you know what you're supposed to do. And you can also track yourself and be accountable for yourself. Or if you're even courageous, like I did in the beginning, I was making myself accountable to my uplines in my MyFiles. I would post my daily and weekly reports there, and I said, okay, this week I actually did well, this week not so well, and that would create pressure on myself to do better on the next week. But once you know what you're supposed to do, there is no confusion. You cannot trick yourself, you cannot trick the system, the numbers don't lie. And look at this. If this method is fully executed, this is the fastest way to reach $10,000 in 30 days, a monthly income of $10,000. And this means that if you do it really the way it is designed, the way it is recommended, you take 6 to 12 months and you reach this kind of an income bracket. And as you train and become more and more professional, and you can also train your team to do the same thing as you, yes, the sky is the limit. You are going to make millions in your career. Look at a monthly income of $100,000 a month. That's over $1 million in a year. And it's easily many, many millions in a career, in an MLM career. And let's see how this system is outlined. Here we have a slideshow that is going to teach us level 1 of the Forensic Networker Academy, which is how to launch perfectly. We are going to learn the basics here. And then in level 2, you learn how to build momentum. After you launch, you need to accelerate it, to speed it up together with a great team. Once you have a team that is performing well, you need to learn level 3, which is the leadership level. And the level 4 is very interesting because it's called forensic ambassador. I don't know how many people know that, but several years ago, we had a level, a degree of distributor in Opulence Global that was called an ambassador, which is more or less like LD3 today. And this is very good news. It means that if we learn and implement the 3 basic levels, we launch properly, we create momentum by staying diligent, and we create leadership for ourselves and inside our teams. Yes, we will become the LD3, we will become the LD4, we will become the ambassador. We will gradually venture into new markets, develop them, stabilize them, learn how we are doing it. And apparently this system contains tools not only for beginners, but also for leaders and for ambassadors, how to stabilize, how to build further. This is definitely worth learning. Personally, I'm getting acquainted with level 1 here and implementing it. I would love very much to see the slideshows for levels 2, 3, and 4 as soon as they become available. Let's continue with this one. Student qualification. Okay, this might be maybe one of the most important slides in the entire presentation. Please pay close attention. We have the $10,000 question. People enter this business and they ask us very quickly. They say, listen, there is a promise of a 5-digit income per month. How can I make that? How can I make $10,000 a month? This is a great question, except that they got it all wrong because they're looking for the result instead of the process. The question is wrong. They should be asking a different question. Who should I become to make $10,000 a month? Because, you know, if we come as an average person, we know that from every other industries, we will have average performances, average initiative, average results, average earnings. And in MLM, the average earning is not very high. It's already better to be an employee somewhere else if we come here in order to be average. We come here for the dream. And then there is a question, a kind of a naughty question that is not very pleasant to face. It's a tough one. It says, what makes you so special? What makes you so special that you deserve to make $10,000 a month? Look at the field of the MLM. 98% of people are not coming anywhere near the $10,000 a month. Why should you be making that amount of money? And what is the right answer for that question? The right answer is, okay, look, I deserve to make that kind of a paycheck because I'm willing to do what the other 98% are not willing to do. I'm going to do that. Teach me what to do. I will learn it and I will do it. I will do what 98% are not willing to do. I will call people. I will follow up on people. I will like and trust. I will learn about the product. I will learn the science. I will stay late hours. There will be no tired for me, no too late for me. I'm going to put myself in this business because I'm going to be a part-time serious or I'm going to be a full-time and I will get to the $10,000 a month. I'm going to do that. Now, maybe I'm not ready to do it today. Maybe I don't have the knowledge. I'm too new. I have too many insecurities. I lack the confidence. I lack the experience. Fine. Nobody says that it has to be done in 1 day or in 1 week. How do we do that? We keep evolving. It's only important to be doing better than last week, better than last month, learn a new skill, have a skill that you already know, but do it a little bit better than you did it before. Little by little, be patient with yourself, but walk the process. You will make it. There is no question. Network marketing is the highest paying profession. We are basically highly paid storytellers, but it has a low success ratio. Let's analyze the reasons why not enough people are making it in MLM. We see that there are 3 basic reasons. Half of the people who don't make it is because they don't want to evolve. You know, these people who say, well, you know, I cannot listen to people. I'm impatient. I cannot do technology. I'm not going to communicate on Zoom. You know, I'd rather do everything in person. Online is really not for me. The people define themselves by their own limitations. They say, that's the way I am. They identify with the limitation. They refuse to evolve. Okay, that's not going to work. It's also called the social club mentality. We are all here together in order to complain about our misfortunes. On the other hand, the business mentality means acquiring new skills, identifying weaknesses, overcoming them. And of course, it has to do with commitment. If we want to do well, we commit to the process, we commit to the learning, we commit to push ourselves into those uncomfortable corners and do something that is not so comfortable. And yes, this would give longevity. Let's look at it. This is the main reason for low success ratio. Half of the people simply refuse to evolve. What happens with the other half? Well, a quarter that gets inadequate training. That's it. Sometimes it's a question of luck. I had a wonderful mentor from day one, which is LD3 Ronan, that you met last week, and you met him many times, of course. But if we are not lucky, if we joined under somebody who is not a very good trainer, The worst trainer is somebody who doesn't train us at all. I would rather have a trainer teach me the wrong thing than a trainer completely neglect me. But both are not good. So if I have no trainer or a bad trainer, I need to be smart enough to understand that this training is not leading me anymore and find a good trainer. And the best bet is the LD3s, is the LD4s. Every one of us has one of these, at least on the My5. We are obliged to have one like that, an ultimate My5 in our team. Find that person and ask them, listen, could you train me personally? I don't have a good trainer. I really want to make it. Most of the LD3s and in the LD4 would understand that if we want to work and we are inside their networks, it doesn't matter how many generations we are below them. Our volume is as good for them as any other volume. Even if we are 12 levels down, we have a compensation plan that pays to infinity. They will take us by the hand and they will say, fine, either I find somebody to train you inside my team, or I'm going to do it myself. We can find a good trainer. But yes, 25% don't make it because they don't have a good trainer. They wish to get trained, but they didn't take the steps to really evaluate the trainer properly and find the good one if they don't have the good one. And another quarter gets lost in bad opportunities, in bad companies, with bad compensation plans, with bad products. A bad product, you have complaints. People are not happy with the product. I can tell you that I work in Opulence Global. I sometimes have 12-hour days or 14-hour days. And in the end of the day, I'm very fresh and full in energy. Why? Partially because I take Fountain of Life, but partially because I always ride on a wave of satisfaction, of gratitude. People are happy to talk with me. People are very happy to share the wins and the testimonials of their products. People are happy to make referrals. Even when I speak with somebody who is not buying a product, but the person knows that I'm selling something of value, this is great. Imagine if I was in a company with bad products, I wouldn't like to look at myself in the mirror. I wouldn't like to get up in the morning and work. That's a bad opportunity. And not to mention the Ponzi schemes in which there is no product. Some MLM companies sell crypto or sell other things that are not real, that don't really exist. So yes, we lose 25% of the people to bad opportunities. These people will never grow. They don't even have a chance. Now, in this context, look at, there is an article by our CEO, Ramin Masgarlo, on compensation plans, right on the Bible of MLM, businessforhome.org. And there is also an interview in which Ramin was interviewed by René Liao, LD4 millionaire René Liao. And this interview is called, What is MLM and How to Select the Right Company? We will get back to that in a minute. There is another slide that shows it. I think it's the next slide. This is one of my favorite slides because of some very pertinent humor that appears here. Duplication will be the final decider in your team's success or failure. This is really beautiful. Look at this. Our success, my success, okay? My success is based on the success of my team, right? If my team doesn't make it, I'm not going to get very far. But if my team does make it, wow, this is great. Now, the success of the team is based on the culture of the team. This is a question that Ronan asks very frequently. Imagine that you are the first person in the company. There was nobody there before you, and you have to create everything, all the tools, all the culture. Now, to some extent, this is true, because each of us, I promise you, each of us can look up and find things that we are kind of not completely satisfied with. We say, okay, we have a good trainer, but he has this defect, that defect. Okay, what do we duplicate for ourselves? We need to take the best of the culture and bring it downwards to our team, because this is our success. We need to give the best. The team success is based on the team's culture, and the team's culture is set by my action and by my expectation. When I recruited somebody, that person knew Isaac. He didn't know Opulence. For him, at least in the beginning, Opulence is Isaac. Of course, if I want him to succeed, I will have to introduce him to Ramin and to Reza, and to Ronan, to René, and to all of the materials and all of the webinars. At the end of the day, he comes and he listens to me. And the culture that I'm going to set is going to be the culture of my organization. My actions, my expectations, my culture, that's going to be the culture of my organization. They need to see me, they need to hear me, they need to see that I work ethically, honestly, that I know what I'm talking about, that when I don't know something, I go and ask, that I keep informing myself, that I'm there to help them. If I do that, they will do that with their own partners. Life doesn't give us what we expect. Life gives us what we accept. Very interesting. I can say, fine, I do want the 5-digit income a month, but if I don't work at it very hard and I'm not very present for my team, that remains a dream or an expectation. But if I look at the mirror and I say, I cannot accept one more week in which I contact less than 25 people, that's not going to happen. And if I say I cannot accept one more week in which I contact less than 40 people, I don't accept one more conversation in which I don't really understand what the other person wants. I don't accept one more partner who has a question to me on the My5 and I didn't get back to him in 24 hours and I didn't resolve it. I didn't go on a Zoom with him. Once I don't accept certain things, and if I really don't accept them, they're not going to appear in my life. So life gives me what I accept. Of course, we should raise our standards. Now, look at this beauty here. Duplication will be the final decider in your team success or failure. And the good news is that we always have duplication. People will always look at us and copy us, of course. The only question is, are they going to duplicate in a good way and create success for us? Or are they going to duplicate in a bad way and create a shaky network, a collapsing network, a network that looks nice today but is not going to be here tomorrow? Now, there is a great advantage to our MLM operation every day, the MLMMO. There is a great advantage, a great upside. A great upside and great news for our method of operation and the culture is, the beautiful thing is our team will duplicate what we do. Isn't that beautiful? But there is also a dark side. There is a bad side. The bad side is, unfortunately, our team is going to duplicate what we do. Yeah. So is it going to be the good way or the bad way? We need to take a daily checkup from the neck up before we go to bed. How did we treat our business today? How did we treat the business this week? Anybody can understand that somebody takes a day off, but when that becomes the habit, that's a problem. Let's go to the next slide. Again, we come to this interview by LD4 and Eliyahu, interviewing our CEO and founder, Ramin Mesgarlo. The name of the recording is What is MLM and How to Select the Right Company. Great advice, great criteria to distinguish the great opportunities from the not so great. It is inside the Forensic Network channel on YouTube. We can subscribe to it. It is even open to the public. Even non-partners can go and learn how to select the right company. What is MLM? Can MLM be illegal? Can MLM companies be illegal? Many inexperienced partners are struggling with these questions. And I believe that even many experienced people in the industries don't understand some of the finer distinctions all the way to the end. It's always good to watch and to watch again and learn it better and better. Learn it so well that we can explain it to other people. This is the ultimate test. Can we explain it to somebody else who would then understand it? And by teaching and by explaining, our own learning improves. Time flies, but we still have a quarter of an hour. Let's continue. Level 1, the 8 categories of involvement. The beauty is everybody here knows the 8 categories because we all read the article. But when I came to the conference 2 weeks ago, I learned some new things about those 8 categories, and I'm going to share them with the help of this beautiful slideshow. Level 1, with a very amusing graphic here, we see a lottery ticket, we see a dice, some people are there for the luck, and we see some people actually succeed in MLM by being lucky. But even those people who are lucky still needed to learn how to recruit the people, how to show them the business. They need to do something at least, but they got lucky. Most people don't get lucky, so this is not a very workable group. How does that happen? People got a lot of hype. They say, yes, come and join. I'm going to build the business for you. Well, you don't have to do anything, just invest the money. So these are the investors. They didn't come to work. They came to put money in. Fortunately, we are in a company that is very legitimate, which means that you get full value for your money. Even if you don't know what you're doing, you put $1,300, you put $1,900, you get the full value in products. And we are telling you, if this is what you are doing, if you are in the lottery group, enjoy your products. Of course, you bought a bunch of products. The good news, you can get more and more products at a discount. Beautiful, enjoy them. But you're not getting very far with this attitude as a business person. Okay, enjoy the products. We have great products for you to enjoy. Wonderful. Then we have the weekend warriors or the weekend wonders. These people, okay, they come with designer suits, they look good, they're confident, they generally have a crowd of people who listen to them. And these people can be very industrious. They can do many, many presentations. They will bring people. Why bother come to a training? What can these people teach me? I already know how to sell. The problem is, okay, they will get no duplication. Those people, wait a minute, my camera is off. Switch it back on again. Here. Right. These people are not going to see duplication. They don't care about nurturing, about teaching, about working together with people. No, they want to make a big amount. Let me add just 50 people really, really quickly, make a big check. And then I say, fine, okay, those people that I added don't do very well. I leave a lot of casualties behind me, and let's go to the next opportunity, the next company. promise to many people the moon, make them invest money. They say, don't worry, I'm going to put people under you, arrange everything. These people are going to be licking their wounds. Finally, I'm hurting a lot of people if I'm doing that, but what do I really hurt? I hurt my reputation. I do it for a year, for 2 years, for 3 years. Finally, people know each other. People talk. You cannot just fool everybody all the time. Next time, at a certain point, sooner or later, with this attitude, give it 2 years, give it 3 years. When I come with the next opportunity, they no longer want to listen. And I create a very bad reputation. I prefer to represent one company and do it well and nurture a team and build myself a stable paycheck that will never go down. And yes, these people are willing to do everything to make $1 million, even if it will take all weekend or a couple of weeks or a month or 2 months. It's a question of time before they say goodbye. They made their first check, and of course, they destroyed their reputation. They destroy their personality, their character. It's a very bad place to be in. I wanted to pay attention to something that is very interesting in this slide. It says in the end, for the bad categories, the categories that nothing is really bad, but the categories that don't know how to work well, it says in red in the end, enjoy your products. What does it mean? It means that those people who bought participation packages and are not going to work the business very well, they are customers. If we have people like that in our networks who are not willing to learn how to work, they are customers. They only look like partners. There are people who are going to buy the product at a discount. More about that later. Let's go to the next category. Let's close at least 6 or 7 categories before time is up. The slave driver, category number 3, and our CEO said that on stage. These are like the first group, but a bit more sophisticated. They don't just buy the lottery ticket. They want to make sure that you work for their money. They think that by buying the package, they also bought you. You know, he bought an enrollment package for me. He already got all the products, but now he thinks that I'm his slave and I'm supposed to be available for him at all times, whenever he demands. I need to build his network. I need to be available all the time, do all the work, do all the presentations, do all the training. He says, okay, you know, I'm going to add a couple of people, but you train them for me. He thinks that it's some kind of a combination deal. He doesn't need to build his own business. Those are the people who, you know, do this kind of manipulation of adding people here, other people there. I don't have to do anything. I just want to make the money. You do the work. You are the MLM. Thank you very much. It is a little bit like the Lotto Group, but they're a little bit more clever and a little bit more nasty. And of course, nobody likes to be a slave, especially not in MLM. We didn't join MLM to be slaves. We could do that outside, you know, having a job someplace. That's enough slavery. MLM is not about that. So we better show to these people the categories and tell them, look, if you find yourself in one of these categories that is not so good, here it doesn't even say enjoy your products, because we are really mad at these people. They're not nice people. We don't wish anything for them, just to come out of this category, but really quickly. And let's go to the next one. This is the social group, and I just love the photo here. Why does my camera switch off all the time? Here, wait a minute, plug it back in, and I'm back. I love this photo here because it looks so social and so friendly. And Ramin was saying really funny things on stage last time. He said, okay, these people are really lovely people. I just want them to start making some money. These people are always so giving and so kind. And he gives the example of somebody who said, you know, I joined Amway back in 1957, and I'm still looking for business. What can you do? These people are great. They're team players. They're all there for the group. They're giving. They will come to the events, but they will never bring candidates. They will sit at the registration table. They will help the arrangements. And they want to make friends, first of all. The money is not so important. They help at the meetings. And you know, some people really don't need the money. They don't have the money problem, and they just came here to meet friends. And we know that we have many, many great people in MLM, people who really want to give, especially the people who sell the great products like we do, and we want to improve humanity. And they come for the friends. So for these people, we say, okay, enjoy. If this is really where you want to be, enjoy your new friends, enjoy your products. That's another customer, but a helpful customer. We have many helpful customers, even outside the field of partners. We all know those amazing customers who are very enthusiastic, and they love us, and they love the product, and they send in referrals, and they win a lot of VIP rewards. Beautiful. So the social group is another category of customer who just bought a business package, and they will get the product at the discount. We come to category 5. The Samtimer. And again, I just love this photo because look at that person. He's convinced that he's a part-time. So you see him dressed for business, sitting at the desk, having a beautiful executive chair. It's a swiveling chair, wearing a suit, but he has like his hands behind his head. And he's like, losing time, passing his time. He thinks that he's a part-timer, but he's just not doing what he should be doing. He doesn't have a serious business plan. He didn't make a promise list that he's really adhering to. He doesn't know what he's there for. Like the Beatles were singing, knows not what he wants to do. If you know, a real knower man. And he's doing the business when it is convenient to him. Say, maybe I will make a couple of phone calls today. I have some free time. The wife is not at home. I don't need to take the children from kindergarten. There is no family event. I might as well make a couple of phone calls. And generally, they will call the same people over and over and over again. They told him already 17 times that they're not interested in the business, but they think, maybe now that the Saturn is inside the horizon of Jupiter, maybe now the stars will align and he will join our business, and they call that same person again. They think that they are part-timers, but they don't have a strategy. They don't have a method. They're very easily distracted. And yes, this person is a customer. We say, enjoy your product. It's a customer. By the way, it is a sometime-timer. He will get a partner sometimes. He will get a client sometimes. Okay, again, we do have those customers who sometimes bring us more customers. You see how it is related? And then that customer is bringing us somebody who is really serious. And we tell the customer, look, this person is going to join the network. Are you sure that you want him to join under me and not under you? Why don't you join the business and start training him? He says, no, I'm just happy using the product. Beautiful, but that's a customer. And it's a little bit of a tricky thing, because once we have a partner who is in this category, we think about him as a partner. It's more correct to see that person also as a customer. These people are amateurs. They're not making 5 digits. They're never going to make the 5 digits. They're customers who are toying with the idea of, yes, I own a business. And why not get dressed fancy, and why not have a nice desk? Yes, you can tell yourself the stories, but we are more serious, we look at that person, we say, okay, fine, a customer who thinks that he's something else. Maybe we can wake him up and move him into part-time or part-time serious, and that would be a very different story. But so long as he's like that, sitting at the table and daydreaming throughout his time, he's a sometime-timer, he's basically a customer, enjoy your products. And this brings us to category 6. Okay, this is the first category out of the 8 that already begins to get it. This category of part-timers, these are people who work with a schedule. They invest at least 20 hours a week. They have a plan. They know the numbers. They're going to stick to the numbers. If they work really correctly and they are really doing the work part-time, they will slowly but surely reach success and probably evolve into the last 2 categories. They can see the opportunity. They have the serious plans. They have the serious promise list. And they do most everything correctly, but one thing that they are missing is the human element of network marketing. They come in order to make money, okay? So they will make the phone calls, they will make the like and trust, they will sell the products, they will add the partners, but they don't invest so much in their people, and they don't take a very active role in leadership, in training their teams, in creating training tools. These are the main weaknesses that they have. They are not committed to becoming a leader or a trainer for the team, and they are not committed to actually build like and trust with the team outside the business hours. They are not going to be very available for their teams. And this is the thing. And I'm going to say something that is not in the slideshow, but I simply learned from our CEO during the convention 2 weeks ago. And this is very, very interesting. When we start in any business in which we are really venturing to create something, we are not going to make money right away. We are going to invest money, we are going to invest time, and the money, the results don't come quickly. And this is true even more so for our team. If we are still not making the money that we want, the people in our team joined after us. They generally know less than what we know, so they're certainly still not making big money yet. So ask yourself, why do they stay in the business if they're not making money yet? Some people are very self-determined and self-motivated, and they will get there. But some people are there because of the human element. They need you. They need you to be there. They need you to encourage them. They need you to support them. They need you to ask them how they are doing, where they need help, what they think that they are not doing properly, to take them by the hand, to teach them some skills, to drill them, to accompany them to meetings. People stay because of the human element. So we need to have one-on-one times with people in our business, but especially with the leaders in our business, people who really want to improve, people who really want to work. These are the people who deserve our time one-on-one, and it's easy to recognize it because these people will ask us for our time. So if we are a part-timer in category 6, at some point we say, excuse me, I'm only here 20 hours a week. I don't have much time because I have my other job, my other things. We don't invest in them much. And this puts some kind of a cap on how far we can go. And I was speaking about our partner customers, and here goes another piece of advice. We have somebody in our organization who is on a smart buy, but is not doing much, but he's on a smart buy. This is a customer. We should call that person from time to time and say, thank you. Thank you for buying our products. What else do we need? What else can I show you? Who knows? We might be motivating them to do a little bit more in the business or to stay longer with the smart buy or to talk about it with somebody else. We need to stay connected. The human element. This is how we move the people, and we need to create like and trust with our people inside our team. All right, we still have time to squeeze this one. Part-time serious. This group has it right. It's working well. It has a correct business plan. It has a serious promise list, and they're committed for the stretch of time that it will take them to reach really great success, a 5-digit income stably. It can be done in 6 months, it can be done in 12 to 18 months, but on the outside, it can be done in 5 years, worst case. And here, our CEO was giving a very good discussion, which I'm going to share with you. This is going to be the last slide for the day or for the night. This is where we are going to end for today and hopefully continue on some other date. And the discussion that we heard in the conference from our CEO 2 weeks ago was the following. The category 7 are going to be committed for the success of the business. These people who are part-timers generally have another job or another company that they're putting a full-time work in. And in addition, they put 20 to 30 hours a week on their business. They attend the company trainings. Sometimes they even deliver them. Look here. And they do put emphasis on the human element of the business. And they will create whatever it takes. They will lead, they will coach. And these people don't have really a lot of a personal life. They sacrifice a lot in order to build the business because they have a dream and they want to get there. And there is a lot of talk in our society about balance, finding a balance in life, you know, leading a balanced life between our personal and our work, leading a healthy lifestyle. And our CEO was standing on the stage in Hilton and he said, look at this thing about the balance. How do you like having a balanced life? Balance led you to where you are today. And you are not happy with where you are today. This is why you joined MLM, and this is why you are even listening to this lecture. You want to build something better, right? Now, the people who are doing it, they love doing it. They love a life of getting in touch with people, promoting with people, inspiring people, getting people to be motivated, getting people to consume products that are going to change their lives. They love it. So you know that when you're doing it, you're crushing it, even if your paycheck is still not very high, but you see the progress. You see how you get to know more and more exciting and interesting people, grow the business, grow the networks. And these people here who are part-time serious, these are people who are running long-distance runners. They don't look for immediately the result. They look for the process, and they trust the process. They know what they are doing. They can celebrate the small victories, and they know that they are building, and one day it will all come out like the big Calgary Tower that we saw before. They know that it takes some time to build a solid foundation for the business, recruiting enough people so that you create the momentum and you find the leaders inside the team that are going to take what you teach them and take it further and be your voice in their own networks as they grow, as they build their business and yours. And also our CEO told a very interesting story. I know that in Canada, there is a lot of wildlife. And many times when you drive, there are skunks crossing the road. So they would, back in the old days, before we had internet, everything was done in person. You would drive sometimes to another town, to another city, to create an open house, to create a presentation, to support a partner in a distant city. And they would measure success. Before they could measure it by money, by the paychecks, they could measure it by how many skunks they run over per unit of time. Would you believe that? So yes, we can, and this would be really my ending comment because we are exactly at the hour now. Basically, the like and trust that we build inside our team and outside our team is contagious. And we can look at the like and trust as the greatest predictor of what our paycheck is going to look like. If we create a great goodwill around us because of our attitude, because of our dedication, because of our product, because we care, because we support, and people do talk with one another. This is the good side. With the fraud people talk and they give them a bad reputation, and finally they cannot show our faces. But we find that after a year or after more than a year, when we talk with the new people, they already heard about us from somebody else who is a happy customer, a happy partner, and they say, and some other people are not so happy, and they say, well, you know, I wish I joined under that person. And everybody hears that. So actually they feel lucky when you contact them. You say, oh, wow, you know, I was going to give you a call. So nice to hear from you. Suddenly you begin to get tailwind and your business is flying on grease, on greased lightning, you know, it is simply flying. I begin to feel that already, and I know that it will grow and grow. I'm only 1 year here. And I must say that I found a home. We reached 30 slides, which is respectable. We still have 58 more to go, but let's call it a night. Host, you can take over. Let's go to announcements.
Wow,
Before we
wow.
go there, Isaac, I want to congratulate you. It was fantastic. You're so fluent. You got that radio sound, voice, the talk very particular. Fantastic job. And I want to also congratulate our new hostess. I love seeing new people just step up, and you guys are crushing it. And I feel like a proud daddy. Telling
Wow.
you guys are incredible. So I want to
Thank
say
you, sir.
congratulations. I know for you, Isaac, it's like what, 4 a.m?
It is 4 a.m, yes.
Yes.
So here's the
Wow.
thing. We talked. You were talking earlier about 10,000 a month. What makes it so special? And there was one answer. I'm willing to do what the other 98% are not willing to do. But guess what? 98% are not willing to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to do
That's right.
what you just did, right? That's what I could tell you. When 98% of people are not willing to become more of what they are, like your young lady, to become the hostess that what you're doing. So again, congratulations.
Thank
So
you,
it's not
sir.
that complicated, folks. It's not that complicated. You want to make a lot of money? You're not making it now, right? How you are brought you to where you are. That means you have to evolve, right? Become more. And guess what? 98% of people are not willing to evolve. That's why we can make so much money. If everybody collected their share, then this becomes a job, right? There wouldn't be a lot left for, but because a lot of people do not collect their share, just leave it on the table. They will not get into MLM. They just become consumers or whatever. That allows us, people like Renee, and to make a lot of money because there's a lot of people, the 90% are not willing to do it. So again, congratulations. I enjoyed the presentation.
Wonderful.
And back to you.
Wow,
Thank you so much
This
to
was
our
incredible.
CEO. Yes. And I must say, Ishtak, again, I mean, you just blew us away tonight. To our CEO, Mr. Ramin Mescalu, thank you so much for even coming onto the call, but more than that, for coming up with this Forensic Networker program. This program has truly changed many of our lives. It has helped us to become more organized. And as we continue to evolve, I mean, even the opportunity to step up, to do this, to be a presenter, to be a host, it's all about you and your vision for this company and all the partners. So we want to thank you again. I'm sure our guests on the call have been very impressed. Ishtak, hats off to you again. Thank you so much. So we'll switch over to our...
I want to make a final note before the announcements. Being in Canada in the conference and listening to our CEO develop the training gave me even more motivation. I'm doing it more diligently now. I come up with new ideas to reach new publics and more people. Spend time close to our CEO, learn his methodology from him. His seriousness and devotion are absolutely contagious, and you become unstoppable. That's what happens.
That's right. And let me tell you a secret. I mean, it's not our first time around. This is my second time around with this company. And I've had the opportunity to sit in a couple of Forensic Networker conferences. And I know exactly, you come back wired. You just come back like, I can take on the world, and that's all because of the vision that Mr. Mescalu has given to us. So thanks again, Ramin.